anyone who have already figured the first scenario off?
195.
100.
$195.
Okay, we need to think about again.
235.
Think about it again.
675.
Nope. I was happy to take that, but I don't want to overcharge you. So 5 different zones, right?
Yep.
5 different zones at 2 different depths. How many samples you are collecting in total? 10. And $15 is the analysis cost per sample. 150 plus the transportation cost plus 270. Okay, all good? Okay, next is let's go to random composite sample at the bottom left corner. And if we never have done the soil sampling before, this is going to be a little bit more challenging.
Is it 420?
420?
Is that wrong?
So 420,
Yes, 420.
420, okay. Anyone has a different answer? You have to think critically.
You have 20 samples, $50 a sample.
I don't want to. Is it right? What's the answer? 420?
So,
No,
it's,
no, I don't
well,
know.
so you have 10 random samples
There's
at
10
2
random
depths.
samples, 2
So it's
depths,
20 samples.
That's 20 samples.
Yep.
Times 15.
So, and there's only one field, so that's $70 plus 15 times 20 plus transportation cost of everything of one field, which is 50.
Okay, all right, so $420 is not the correct answer here. I'm asking you to think critically, look at your sampling design. What's your sampling design telling you? Random composite
Oh,
sample.
it's one sample.
It's 1 sample per depth, not 10. Right?
So it's
So
only two,
two
it's only
samples. Yeah, 2 samples at each depth.
70, so it's 100,
100,
150.
yeah,
150.
150.
Wait, so then what are you? There's only, we're
Because-
putting all our samples in the 2 depths all together.
Okay.
So it's 10 samples becoming 1 at 0 to 6, and 10 becoming 1 at 6 to 12. So we only have to pay $30 for the lab analysis.
Yep.
Okay. Instead of like.
That's why random composite sampling is cheap, economical. Doesn't matter you take 10 samples or 100, you're only sending 1
Oh, all together. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Makes sense.
because you have to mix them at the end of the day. Okay, let's go to the grid one, guys. Grid sample.
100 samples.
What'd you get?
I got 1,620.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is the field cost, like the sampling, that's just like how much it is to come out?
It's just a hypothetical cost I put out in order to keep it flat off the bat, right?
Oh, okay.
Just to compare. However, it may be slightly different if you're sending 2 samples versus 100 samples.
Right.
The container is going to be more heavy, and the FedEx or whatever the courier company is going to charge you more for the more weight.
Okay.
Yes, last one is 420. So now let's talk about which of these sampling design is more cheaper.
Random.
Random composite sampling is more cheaper. Which one is more expensive?
Red.
Great. And now if you can tell me which of these is more economical but also bring in a lot of variability and dependability in soil sampling collection and analysis, because you have to make a decision on that for your crops.
I would go zone.
Zone sampling, right? That's why it's becoming more popular. The other reason is it also ties up with a lot of variable rate technology we are being developing for our sprayers or cultivators and other things. Zone sampling it's more becoming popular these days. Okay, let's talk about do's and don'ts of soil sampling. What are the things you must do while collecting a soil sample?
Keep it from getting
Sterilize your
contaminated.
equipment. Have a labeling bag.
What page is that at? I wrote it down. Hold on.
Okay, did we talk about the equipment yet?
Equipment? No, we haven't.
No,
talked
okay.
about it, but the equipment was in the.
Okay,
It's
let's
in-
come over. So what kind of equipments are needed to collect the soil sample?
Shovel or probe.
A shovel or probe or a auger,
Backhoe,
anything.
Bucket.
A bucket. Yeah, so if you need to collect a soil sample from a surface, right, you can use shovels or small knives and everything. You just scrape it up, put it into the bucket and just pack it and everything, right? But if you have to go deeper, you cannot keep digging for the half of the day. Your boss is not going to pay you for that, right? So you have to bring in special equipment such as soil sampling probe. So basically you hook these things two together and you send it to the ground and
you just
collect
stomp
soil
on it?
sample. Yeah. You
Can we do it?
right now?
Can we do one? Just
Maybe
one?
we can
We're
do
the
that.
last
But
class, aren't we?
okay,
I'll stomp it.
let's not waste time on that. But what's the disadvantage of using these kind of equipments?
You're getting a very small area. Yeah, it's a small sample size.
So if I have to collect 500 grams of sample, I have to do it multiple times.
yeah.
So that's why I was asking in the beginning, if it is handheld and I have to do it with the hands, I'm not gonna do it. Like, it's very laborious and time consuming. But if it is truck mounted hydraulic probe in the cab, it's just simply you push the button, goes down, comes up, goes down. You can keep doing that the entire day, right?
Yep.
In addition to that, I have learned with my personal experiences on soil sampling, remember to keep spare gloves with you, because you have to eat as well. You can be soil sampling from 6 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the night, right?
Yeah.
You have food stuff with you.
Gotta get some food in you.
Yeah.
Don't want dirt.
Take some water with you. Always have spare disposable gloves with you. Always have your sampling bags, some markers to label them, your probes first for the and always keep a spare probe, right? Why? Because these are made up of aluminum. They can easily bend. So you don't, if you go to a soil sampling site 200 hours away from your farm, you don't want to go back for 2 hours and then bring another one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So your boss is going to be pretty mad at you. In a wetter field, always keep a screwdriver with you to clean it,
Yeah.
right? Clean it.
Don't want to.
In addition to that, WD-40 is your friend. In a relatively drier field, it's not a problem. But if it is a wet field, the soil is going to stick to the probe. If you spray it with the WD-40, even though it is a wetter ground, your probe is going to be cleaned nicely, right? In addition to that, always make sure you keep buckets with you for every different depth for collecting sample. And do not forget this guy. It's a Vercone. That's for the biosecurity purpose. Always make sure you clean your shoes, clean your truck tires with it when you move from one field to the other field, in order to practice biosecurity and prevent the introduction of pests in our fields,
Yeah.
right? So those are the things we must consider